Hola, muy buenas, bienvenidos una vez más a Genshin Impact. Bueno, recordad que lo dejemos, que teníamos que ir a la casa dorada. ¿Veis? Se pone choque de intereses. Navegar, ¿ves? Dirígete a la casa dorada. Bueno, vamos a ir, ¿no? Para allá, a ver qué nos espera, que nos continúa la historia. Dos perros iguales allí. Dos perros iguales aquí. Aquí tira mucho el gemelo de perro. Es raro, pero... Vamos a ver... ¿Veis que tengo un personaje nuevo? Eido. Bueno, no sé si lo estáis viendo. Yo... ¿Cuándo? A ver. Ahora mejor. Ahora sí que lo veis. Es Eido. Que tengo varios personajes más también. Bueno, varios no, tengo uno más nuevo. Aparte de Tartaglia y tal, tengo uno más nuevo. Que lo tengo a nivel 1. Tengo que subirlo aún. Es este. Aquí lo tengo. Hielo. Está bien, está bastante bien. Habrá que mejorarlo. No, le puse un par de artefactos a ver qué es lo que le pongo y tal. Bueno, le he puesto 2 piezas de gladiador. Y... 2 no. Esto me parece que he puesto los 4. Pues yo tengo la bonificación de... Así que bueno, ya veis que es nivel 1. Nivel 1. Sin ascender y sin nada. Ya lo subiré. Sin prisa, pero sin pausa. ¿Ah? Vamos a... Ya a la casa dorada, ¿no? Este objetivo. Ahora mismo tengo... Me he apartado la cámara y me la he puesto abajo para que veáis el conjunto que tengo. Llevo 4. Llevo a Eido, que es eléctrico. Llevo a Fish, que es eléctrico. Tartaglia, que es de agua. Y Bárbara, que es de agua. ¿Qué es lo que pasa? Porque llevo 2 tipos y 2 tipos. Porque cuando llevo 2 tipos de eléctrico me sube el ataque en un 25%. Si no recuerdo mal. A ver. Vale. Es... Vale, bueno, me hace sobrecarga. Genera partícula de sobrecarga, electrocargado. Vale. Ahora tengo 2 de agua. ¿Por qué? Porque reduce la duración de los efectos con Piro en un 40% y aumenta su curación en un 30%. Esto, pues, lógicamente, pues me cura mucho más. Tengo una buena combinación entre electro y agua. Y aparte, pues me cura más. Lo que... Vale, ya acabo de gastar ahora mismo la ulti. Lo que... Está por aquí. La entrada. Bueno, es igual. Ah, está guay. Lo que... No sé qué personaje escoger, la verdad. Ahora mismo. Por si hay que luchar o algo. Bueno. Voy a dejarlo así. Es igual. Ya, que sea lo que Dios quiera, ¿no? Sombra dorada. Primer recomendado 30. Sí, claro. Pero una vez dentro, no es 30. Ahí me deja. Nos aseguramos con nuestro equipo que teníamos Tartaglia, Fish, Ningguang y Bárbara. O metemos Eido y Fish para tener sobrecarga. No, es igual. Vamos a darle aquí, equipo 2. Mejor, ¿no? Vamos a tener uno de cada. Imagina porque Ningguang tiene la barrera. Y esa barrera nos puede ayudar bastante.
looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed that it was even fancier on the inside? And so full. This is where all of Teyvat's mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few mora go missing. Oh, so it's a trap! Tricky, tricky.
Yeah.
Good thing Paimon's got you here. But even if we can't take any, we can still have a closer look, right? Or better yet,
Y
take
Paimon
a nap
pensando
on top
siempre
of
en
a
el dinero.
mountain of mora. It's like a dream come true.
¿Qué hacemos? ¿Inspeccionar? Tengo un extraño sentimiento.
Back to business. It's quiet. Too quiet. Surely... Huh? Look! What happened here? Uh-oh. Paimon smells quick. We have to go make sure that the Exuvia is all right.
A ver.
No time to lose. You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you already seen enough trouble for today?
Huh? Who's there?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way. Although I'm deeply grateful to you that I was able to effortlessly find this secret location, don't you think that trying to stop me now would just be wasted effort? Stopping the Mora Mints, hiding away the Exuvia. The Chising are really pulling out all the stops this—
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the Exuvia all along?
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled. She will get that which she desires.
Sabíamos. Lo sabíamos. No te lo permitiré.
I'm not asking for your blessing, and there's nothing you can do to stop me anyway. The time for discussion and diplomacy has already passed. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin with. But either way, we now come to my favorite part. A simple pleasure, the battle.
Battle? So you're the type that goes looking for trouble, huh?
You could say that. When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once her mission was accomplished. Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of battle now, would she? When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and consider the consequences of her actions.
Me dando cuenta que se estoy topando. Si estás leyendo, se estoy topando sin querer.
But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a harbinger lies in crossing blades with strong opponents.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, Traveler. I'll just play along. To feel that— Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wildest dreams. But hey, try to relish the fight anyway, because if you ask me, with—
¿Perdona?
Fighting talk, I love it! Now let's see you live up to it.
Madre de Dios. Madre de Dios.
It's hard to come by.
Ven,
So
señorito.
show me all you've got. So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui Harbinger. So come now, amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint. Try this.
Señorito, señorito. ¿Que vas a sufrir más? Madre de Dios. Por reírte de mí. Chiquillo. No te entera, no te entera. Hostia, eso ha hecho pupita. Dios mío. La ballenita. La ballenita, la ballenita. Nene, 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 que te la juegas. ¿Vale? ¿Es eléctrico? Guau, nene. Pues menos mal. Este no es como mi Tartaglia. Oh, si le damos. Ah, no. Pensaba que se curaba. Esto da un poquito por saco, la verdad. Ya sé que es eléctrico, pero... así le haremos algo de daño. Necesito que me cures un poquito. Mi Bárbara cariñosa. Mi Bárbara bonita. A ver, Bárbara, Bárbara, esquiva. Ya sabemos que eres muy inocente. Lo esquiva un poquito. Te tengo. No, tú a mí también, ¿no? Oh, pero mi Tartaglia es todo de agua. Yo también quiero eléctrico. Anda que no mola. Ya estás, nene, ya estás. ¿Cómo que yo en el suelo? No, 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 no.
Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get. Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing it to get close to the Exuvia.
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected. Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now. Huh? I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
Wow. Dios, cómo mola.
Not bad. But this is going to cost you. Yeah.
Otra lucha, ¿no? Ya, no le quito nada, ya. Pero lo que quiero es cargar. Quiero cargar la ulti de Bárbara para curarme todos los personajes. Y ahora sí. Un poquito, porque ya sabemos que es electrocarga. Ven aquí. Cambio. Oh.
Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
Ready, steady, go!
Oh.
Oh, it's reveal dice.
Oh, wow, 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 wow. Ay, ay. A ver, por favor. Es que esto es una lucha de tartaria contra la tartaria, ¿no? Ven, 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 ven. Pues le quito poquito. Le quito muy poco. Eso significa que el agua le hace menos. Aquí tenemos. Oh no.
Die here.
It's nothing. Your life is mine.
As you wish, mein Fräulein.
¡Wow! Quita mucho a la ballena. Necesito curarla. Ahí, ahí. Curar mi fish. Aush. Hace un poquito de pupa. Uf, eso ha sido un cambio muy rápido.
Die here.
This realm,
Ostras.
no home for a princess.
A ver, vale, podemos curarla, la fish. La he resucitado para curarla un poco, porque es la, ahora mismo es la que más me mete, por lo que veo. Bien. Bien. Ni puff ni puff. Hombre.
Child's back to normal.
Well then, it seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think, and now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying to tell you. We didn't take it.
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Signora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be?
Porque estamos reuniendo los poderes de los 7 elementos, o es porque estamos restaurando mi poder original. Pero la verdad que sí, mi poder original de toda la
You
vida.
already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend, even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
Pretty sure that's not the normal way to make
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. My quest, given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was never in the Exuvia to begin with. In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was just a diversion of sorts.
What?
¿Ah?
So you mean that...
Ostras, o los restos eran falsos, o Rex Lapid todavía vive. Pam, 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 pam. Yo creo que eran falsos
Yes,
estos.
it appears so. Interesting. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries of... As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this. I absolutely detest working with those who are weaker than I. The truth is, the world belongs to those of us who desire to become strong. I seldom willingly mingle with any dull and boring weaklings who think other. Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables sometime.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyan's stone forest.
Oh,
God?
Osile, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geo-Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon's stone spears ever since. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the protection of its deity, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing destruction?
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago. How can an ancient god appear in a world now overseen by the Seven?
Simple.
Oof.
I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are sigils of permission! Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
es verdad, estaba tratando.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon, using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well, that makes matters a little more intriguing.
Madre mía, la que se va a liar aquí.
Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone. That guy is fast. What's going on?
¿Qué va a ser eso? Pues el Palacio de Ningguang. ¡Guau! Chicos, que aquí se está poniendo esto súper tenso.
If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House, we really wouldn't have... Did we make it in time? Is the Overlord of the Vortex still in the sea? It hasn't destroyed Liyue.
What are you doing here?
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon thought you were arguing with the Chising.
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now and unite against this common enemy.
Mira la vieja.
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to defend Liyue? Just seeing this Overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy.
It's not just you. We've got new Millilith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle, which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer to Liyue Harbor.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing? Now that's... So will the power of the Chising, Millilith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is... not necessary.
What? Wait, all of you were supposed to be the Guardians of Liyue. Can't you...
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chi Sing did once research the matter of the Guizhong ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong ballista with one's own hands is here. For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet, it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your...
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now. Yep.
Yo mismo. Wow. Wow. Esos son míos, esos son míos. Sí. Guerra. Yeah, Fatuis míos. Hola, nene. Oh, ya te has cambiado, cobarde. Dale, off. ¿Qué haces cubriendo a tu compañero? Flipao. Pero no había... ¿No con nosotros también? A ver, vosotros dos. Iros al carajo. Venga, aquí. Ahí. Primero este, que es el más débil. Ahora vamos a por este. ¿5 minutos? Madre mía.
That is Osial's divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be careful not to get hit.
Vaya piño.
Go, Barbara, go!
The Fatui! Their attacks are unrelenting!
Ya voy.
How daring. Nezhnai's diplomats will answer for this afterward. Every last one.
Ahora se ha puesto el escudito.
Were you about to say we can't hold them, children?
Ahora cambian aquí, ¿no? Uf.
Here, take this.
Adeptal energy! That light from your body, it's like the time in Julian Cars! Wow! It's a Madam Pink shockwave! This grid is really strong!
Ahí hay más. Vale, vale. Porque voy a mirar. A ver si tengo rápido. Pam. Este de aquí. Y un escudito más. Ahora tenemos un poquito más de fuerza. Más de daño. Ahí abajo. A ver.
My name means swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast!
Gracias. Vamos, que podemos aguantar, ¿eh? Venga, más.
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Ahora controlo 3 a la vez.
Submit! Blink! Over here! Wings of darkness! Come, sever night!
Couldn't let your guard down.
Exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak. In other words, if we hold
Ay. Venga, hasta luego, Lucas. Tú, ¿estás muerta? A por estos.
Midnight Phantasmagoria!
Oh, yeah. Esto ya ahora sí, ¿eh? Ahora sí.
Over here!
A ver, que no me lo truquetes más, hombre.
No time to lose. This is gonna hurt.
Ay.
the Fatui's numbers are thinning.
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
Sever night for day! Look at me.
Uf, 10 segundos quedaban. Oh, mira qué rápida esta, Pim pam.
Now we may commit ourselves fully.
Wow. Me parece que no muere.
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Be careful now.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady
What?
Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
¡Wow! ¡Vaya tela! Vaya explosión, por Dios. Chicos, increíble. Increíble, vaya tela. De verdad, ¿eh?
Is it finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the Sigil of Permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor...
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the... Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to you.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti, even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the... I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove, but I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence.
Oh, Ningguang.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
Right! That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourself?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I have come to extend my thanks to the Adepti. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the prediction.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millelith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things that make the... Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please, come visit us for the next lantern rite!
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But it is no longer necessary for the city to run. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contract.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, Conqueror of Deep.
Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed. Fair enough.
Bueno.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Chising will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh? Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace.
Es verdad.
But we're forgetting Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. So Rex Lapis never showed... Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death? Hyman doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adepti-less...
Madre mía, chicos, ha sido impresionante.
No idea where Young Lee's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshem Funeral Parlor.
Impresionante, chicos, impresionante. La verdad que increíble. Bueno, chicos, me parece que vamos a continuar un poquito más, ¿no? Me he engañado, ¿eh? ¿Sabéis que voy a acabar aquí? No. Vamos a continuar. Un poquito más. Un poquito más. Vamos a ver cómo acaba todo esto, ¿no? Me han dejado así con las ganas de saber cómo acaba. Qué bien, ¿eh? Vamos, ya estamos casi. 120. Parece que nadie se ha enterado. Uy. Va. Están ahí tomándose algo. Va. No. Está ahí. Vale, vale. Venga, pues vamos a ver. Hola.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng funeral parlor isn't in the best...
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him where he...
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue? Visiting the Fatui at a time like this could only mean more... We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
Bueno, pues al banco los Fatui. Aquí dando vueltas, Vale, ya me he equivocado. Siempre igual. Los botones al lado y me equivoco. Bueno, son cosas que pasan. Aquí y aquí. Nadia. Ahí te queda. La verdad. Se le ve antipática. Es la verdad. Solo me mira. De
You call
reojo.
this cooperation between harbingers. Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Hey, it's Zhongli and Child. And... You're also one of the harbingers?
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the city of Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
No, don't let her get to you. You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements. And our last battle at the Golden House, so it might be best to keep things peaceful this time, seeing that 2 of the Harbingers are here.
Well, if it isn't you two. This is our first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward.
Paimon knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the... Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee.
How sanctimonious.
Wow. Zhongli es ex lápiz. Justo como pensaba.
What? So you're the Lord of Geo? No, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract, for it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you, and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky, and all of Liam...
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over.
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain. As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years.
Wait.
I witnessed the founding of Liyue,
Okay,
together with the Adepti 3,700 years ago. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already...
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal, so I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue. That's right, which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
I was pleasantly surprised with the finale of the show that you all put on. Why, you even deserved an encore. The Adepti deserve the greatest applause, considering their years of seclusion. They hardly recognized the city, yet faced with such a crisis, they exerted the greatest amount of restraint. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even tried. And hats off to the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract, Signora. She managed to keep everything she knew in strict confidence. All the while, I carried on as Zhongli, and fulfilled the traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for walking that path with me, traveler. These things were all a part of my script. The only unforeseen plot twist was the conduct of the Liyue Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all!
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for—
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark!
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to if you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo-Archon.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight? Be that as it may, you've come out of this as the hero of Liyue. I, on the other hand, will be forever prescribed as a disturber of the peace, no?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Come.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Now then,
Flipantes.
is there anything
giro.
else you wish to ask me?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no...
Realistically speaking, there is...
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, my agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo-Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the... Uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
Vale, pues nos ha dejado sin. Yo creo que si esto continúa más, el vídeo va a ser largo. Esta vez el vídeo va a ser largo, pero bueno, es el final, ¿no? Que merecemos un poquito más de tiempo. Pepa.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
Que estamos a punto de acabar el acto 3. ¿Atajo? ¿Atajo? No atajo, atajo, hombre. Hay que atajar aquí más rápidos. Más rapidito, más rapiditos. Un poquito más. Y vamos por allá. Okay.
Oh, well, since we're going through with this right... So Rex Lapis is really... Oh, there's only one real possibility. Fatui? They certainly... Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their...
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis subdued it.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and
Now that you mention it, that's very possible. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god. Still, what sort of supernatural prowess?
Ah, forget it. Guessing's no use to us.
Bueno, pues...
Hear ye all! The Chi sings words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Chi Sing's announcement said. So that's how they're spinning. Something feels off. Why could the Chi Sing already have... Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands? Exactly, right?
Par de de la celebración. Venga, vamos a ver la final.
Are they saying something? Are there speeches over?
As said previously, Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous, but blinded by our prosperity.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we...
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Yikes!
No?
She really is looking our way!
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
So young. The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve that much.
Whoa.
Me están pensando en dinero. Hacía falta, ¿no?
Well, could you help me put up some missing person posters?
¿Ah?
By royal decree.
Wow, ha sido un puntazo.
And to think I'd put my best perfume, but it seems as if the... Well, that's fine.
¿Podemos hablar con nadie más por aquí? Aquí.
Perhaps memento...
Dos.
As for the mortals and adepti of Liyue,
Casa. Ongli. Ongli está ahí.
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see... And here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I... Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should...
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Qinyue kiosk.
You're right. I do lack the Mora.
But why would Morax lack Mora?
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to...
Oh, no wonder! Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tag, but since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of...
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli. That is true. But there is no journey that does not end.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for...
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed.
Esto creo que va a ser la próxima expansión, ¿no?
The
Próxima actualización.
Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue preferred to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among local.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Right?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the shogun of the Inazuma Bakufu, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
Shogun.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
It's because of visions.
Por las visiones.
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of... But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate... This is what visions are. Magical foci.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Teyvat see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision...
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of...
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings.
Whoa, that's hot.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable... The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods, and of these, eternity is nearest unto heaven. All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Nada, de momento no tengo una
Well
pregunta.
then, I suppose
Ya sabemos
you'll
dónde
have to find a way
buscarte.
to get...
Bueno chicos, completada. Completada. Ahora sí que lo tenemos completado. Bueno chicos, hasta aquí el final del vídeo. Espero que os haya gustado este final tan inesperado, tan épico. La verdad que, a ver, no tenemos ninguna misión más, por lo que veis, de momento. Así que tenemos un final épico. Muchas gracias por haber visto el vídeo. Ya sabéis, darle al pollo, que me ayudaréis muchísimo. Y nos vemos a la próxima, al próximo a continuación que metan. Seguiremos con el modo historia. Adiós.